Today, we are here to talk about how to choose your business structure. We will focus on corporation, on forming a corporation. If you like our channel, click on it, share it, subscribe to our channel. We are talking about business structure. Business structure is very important to uh, from your start of your business. It is forming a good foundation for your business. For legal purposes, it's very important for you to understand what kind of structure, what kind of foundation that you want to give your business. It is, you would say, not a life and death situation, but it is for your pocket, for tax purposes. It is very important because if you structure it the wrong way, you may find yourself paying more taxes. We know there are different structure as a sole proprietorship or partnership and a corporation. But today we will talk about a corporation. Depending on of your state, of the Secretary of State where you are, once you form a corporation for federal purposes, it's always a C corporation, what you call a subchapter C. But within a corporation, you could choose to be a small corporation. For being a small business corporation, you have to make an election to the federal government. Remember, once you form a corporation, it is automatically a C corporation. If you do not make the election to the federal government, it will always stay a C corporation. And the state that you are in will always want to tax a C corporation. They want to know the profit and the loss of a C corporation because the state, the Secretary of State of that state where you are, would love to tax that corporation. But there are some benefits that when you form a corporation, that a small business corporation, what we call a subchapter S, that they enjoy. But let's talk about the advantages of forming a corporation. One of them is very important is name recognition because by having your name being protected, a corporation is one of the entities when you forming it, no one can have two of the same name. So you are protected with that name that you form when you form a corporation. There is also the protection of limited liability, meaning you're protecting your assets when you form a corporation. Whatever happened to the corporation do not carry over to your personal affairs, to your personal assets. One other thing that you can think of is the advantages that you get to qualify for a small business, what we call a subchapter S. A subchapter S corporation does not pay taxes, which is a disadvantage when you have a C corporation. You have that double taxation with a C corporation, but a subchapter S does not. You have a specialized management. You see, for an S corporation, you can have as many as 100 shareholders. I remember my days in school, you could only have only 35. It has grown to 75 and now it's 100 shareholders. And there is also a revenue cap. A small business corporation that makes up $100 million, it's not a subchapter S corporation. That's a C corp. C corp has their advantages because they have unlimited capacity. They have unlimited, you could say, shareholders, but not a subchapter X corporation. Another thing that we could say is the ownership of a corporation, whether it's C or an S, is transferable, not like a sole proprietorship or partnership. You see, a corporation is transferable, meaning that I could sell all my shares, all my actions to someone else for the right price. That's how we get to understand what's going on within the stock market. And it's the continuation of a corporation is unlimited. That's the reason you see some corporations always have the ability to continue indefinitely, as long as they have good management and control. Now we're looking at the disadvantages. One of the disadvantages of having a corporation, they are very expensive to control, to keep in operation. They are closely regulated. They have charter restrictions. You cannot form a corporation and think you could deal with it any kind of way, because the corporation could be public and the corporation could be private. And when a corporation is public, it has certain restrictions that is based, depend on the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC. So it's very important to understand these kind of things. It's expensive to keeping record requirement when you have a corporation. It's very demanding. When you look at the stock market, you cannot give a report a month later or knowing what the organization is doing. So it's very expensive to keep that. And shareholders, depending on their percentage, could also be liable. Personal guarantee is very important. It is a disadvantage to a corporation. So we need to keep that in mind. I enjoy that you watch our video, and please don't forget, if you like it, click on it, share with it, and also subscribe to our channel. As I conclude,